Hello, good morning, happy Monday. Welcome to Avio's Journey. My name is Anthony Pica. This show is all about helping, I think, hopefully, the new and upcoming voiceover artists grow their business, sidestep all the crazy things that I seem to be stepping on. I've got coffee. It's rainy outside today, but I'm excited to be here. It's March 27th, and we're going to talk about voiceover pricing, especially how I've been handling it. That's what I want to talk to you about today. And this is like a crazy topic, and I know we've heard so much about it. And there's so many lines drawn in the sand. But I posted last week that it's been years for me, years and years and years, that I've actually posted something where I'm actually looking at myself, what I'm charging, and what value that my business is bringing, and also what I am sharing with others on what they should be charging from my opinion. Because first and foremost, before I do any of that, I am always and I will always be a firm believer that you run your business and you should run it how you see fit. I do think that there's guides, there's pricing models out there that we use and that are very helpful. But in the end, it is still always up to you what you decide to do with your business. Okay? But I wanted to chat to you about what I'm doing with my business, especially because more and more things are starting to happen with Avio's Journey and Academy Voices, which is our online casting website for our voice actors that are in Avio's Journey Elite Academy. Which leads me real quick to say, if you're interested checking out Avio's Journey Elite Academy, there'll be a link below. We offer 50% off the first month for you to come and check us out. If you're trying to start your voiceover business, grow your voiceover business. If you're a veteran, we're really growing because of our online casting websites. Our website, we need people of all type, whether you're just starting out or you are been in the industry for a while, and you'd like to sharpen your skills, join a community, that kind of thing. We'd love to have you, so check that out below. All right, so let me get into this pricing. I promised last week that I would do sort of like an audit, discuss and look at what I charge. So when I first started in voiceover, I started doing audiobooks, and I didn't know what I was doing. I was in my hobo fort with my $40 microphone, and I did the best that I could. I did a lot of books for royalty share, a lot of books for $50, $100 per finished hour, and that was great. I mean, I was happy doing those things at first because I was just excited that someone was hiring me, and I didn't even have really any aspirations to do much of anything else other than just do nonfiction audiobooks at that time. Sorry, my dog's barking. So that I didn't know anybody. I wasn't a part of any groups, et cetera, et cetera. I just did what I did. And as I grew and as I learned more about the industry and everything, things started to change. I found Fiverr and I started working on Fiverr. And, Fiverr has a pricing model that is really unique to Fiverr. People come to Fiverr looking for a discount, a good service, but a discount. All right. And, that discount is pretty much expected when you come to Fiverr. Now, there's nothing wrong to it. I've made hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars from Fiverr, so I'm very happy about the platform. But as time went on, I realized that where I was not where I wanted to end up. And then I've learned so much. So I started to raise my prices. But as I raised my prices, I still never stopped and looked at what I was charging. And I began to realize that our industry as a whole, there is I think there is a interesting dynamic between people who are just beginning in the voiceover industry, people who are kind of in an intermediate stage, and people who are in an advanced stage. Now, I know there's a lot of people who, do believe that no matter what stage you're at, you should, charge XYZ. And, whether you're just beginning, you should charge the same amount of as people who have been in the industry for 20 or 30 years. And, I think from a competition standpoint, that does help people, overall, in the sense that, you have people who are veterans, you know what I mean, and people who are new. So one doesn't necessarily get a leg up on the other for pricing, because we know from like a business standpoint, pricing can be used and abused sometimes to get work over someone else. Okay. And I think that's something that does happen in our industry and all kinds of industries. But anyways, so as I looked at my own stuff, and I want to try to keep this to my stuff, because the reality is that, I do, reach some people, and, what I say, I know some people listen to, and I want to make sure that, I'm doing this now as I'm growing, because I realize as I start representing other people, okay, it's interesting when you start representing other people, the sense of responsibility and things that you have for others changes, right? Because then from just yourself. So anyways, as I'm looking at pricing and my pricing, I realized that I had raised my rates, but then I stopped. I stopped raising my rates, and I raised my rates probably. I stopped around maybe 50 to 60% what I was charging, more towards the upper part of industry standards, kind of like the max part of like the GVAA guide and things like that. And so I just stopped there. Why did I stop? I don't know. I mean, at my pricing model, you know what I mean? I don't know why I stopped. I think because, honestly, I might have personally just not give it much thought, because I was making a lot of money. You know what I mean? And I was like, I don't need to raise my prices anymore. But I think what I realized, and I want to thank him for this, because this is an interesting, it's an interesting thing. I was watching a video by Paul Schmidt, and I just started watching some of his videos, and he did mention some things on one of the videos that I thought was very interesting about, and I was very pleased. I was very pleased to see some of the acknowledgments that he made about people making a lot of money on Fiverr. But I really liked how he said in that video about that, there's a lot of money being left on the table. And a lot of people don't know that. You know what I mean? And I think that that is true. As I have, and especially true for someone like me. The reason why I say that, and then I want to, because I'm kind of going all over the place here, but the reason why I said that is because I think that I still firmly believe that when we're starting out, we're beginners, we are just, we're just dipping our toes in, and we're probably going to charge less than people who have a full studio, who have worked for years, who have done thousands and thousands of voiceovers, who've worked for Fortune 500 companies, who've done all these things, right, have a brand. We're not going to charge as much as them. Now, can you? Absolutely. Should you? That's totally up to you, right? It's your business. Is it bad to do one way or the other? That's not my place to say. All right. However, I can tell you my feelings are is when you're brand new, that's not, like I wouldn't expect someone brand new. This is me personally. And I don't, again, it's up to you, what you do. But like, I wouldn't expect a person who is just starting to charge the same amount of money as me or someone else to, and expect to get that level of business. Now, here's the thing. Working on websites like Fiverr and Upwork, it's kind of like a win in Rome scenario, all right? Whether it's or pay to play sites, wherever you are, whenever you're on some of these websites that have, an expectation of a model, right? That, you have to charge within that if you want to play within that model, because that's the people they're marketing to. Do you know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that. Again, it's just that's who they're marketing to. So the clientele that they're marketing to are expecting to come to pay those prices. But that doesn't mean that you have to charge those prices, one. And two, it doesn't mean that you have to charge those prices other places either. However, I am a big advocate for, on a side note, wherever you are, if you're going to charge prices one place, make sure you charge, like consistently. I don't like when, I learned a long time ago when I first started, I didn't know anything, charging one price one place, charging one price another place. Now, if you're on a platform and it has its own structure and you have no choice, well, then like of what to charge because they're charging it, then it's up to you to decide, do you want to be on that platform or not? But in general, I think that there is a progression, and that should be built into our businesses as we learn that we are progressively charging more as we get better, as our equipment gets better, as our studio gets better, as our brand gets better, right? Gets more recognized, we charge more. And I like the idea, again, about the ideas as you grow, you might be leaving money on the table that you don't know about, or you're not aware of, or you're not thinking of. And I think as I have been working relentlessly on Academy Voices and building the website, I'll put a link below that you can check it out. And, starting to slowly work with new clients, that, the model that I use to represent those clients, I want that model to represent their hard work and my hard work and the hard work of our industry. And it's so interesting because, like I said, as an individual, you think about yourself. I think when you're representing other people, you think differently. And it's an interesting thing. And I told you guys I wanted to be open and honest with you about my feelings. So the pricing model that, we're going to be using for Academy Voices, that we train people from the Elite Academy, is going to be way closer, if not right on par with industry standard rates. With usage, with proper usage fees and things like that, that reflects the larger market, whether it's local or regional or international even. We are, I believe I owe that to the people I represent. So, with all that being said, I can look at myself and say, I've had quite a bit of a aha moment with a lot of things with my own direction and how I've progressed. And that I don't charge what I used to charge, right? Now I charge more, I'm not in the beginning stages of my career, and that I'm more towards industry standards of what I charge. When I say standards, I mean standards laid down by, like, for example, the GVAA and things like that. I think that is a standard that is set down for a lot of the industry, and then there's a portion of the industry that's new, right, that is trying to get their foot in the door, doing everything they can to just get some work, to get started, get some experience. And what I've learned is, and this is what I want to say, is that running a VO's Journey Elite Academy has been one of the greatest things I've done, I think, in my life, and helping so many voice actors grow their voiceover businesses. And recently, what I'm so even more excited about is, because of all this, we've been diving so much more into the quality of your sound, your voice acting, how to put a great demo together, the things that really market yourself effectively to higher end clients. You know what I mean? And I'm really thrilled about that opportunity. And as the Academy Voices grows, you know what I mean? I think that is the overarching theme, right? Is great quality, great performance, and easy to work with, quick turnaround time, but charging at a level that is higher than what we typically see a lot of beginners charging. What I charged when I first started. You know what I mean? So to bring it all full circle, I looked at my business and I realized that over 6-7 years, I had only raised my prices a little bit from when I first started. And I've worked with so many businesses and so many voiceovers, and I've helped so many voice actors. And I look forward to continuing to do all of that, but focusing also on the progression of your skills, of your talents, and of your pricing model, right? Because where we start is not where we want to finish. And I think that, again, looking at my own stuff, I wouldn't change what I've done ever, and how I started, and because it's all led me here, and it's all led me to the idea of the model of pricing. Now, the one thing that I still firmly believe in is that I believe in when you are starting out, it just, I don't know, and I'm not saying I'm opposed to changing my mind about it, but when you are just starting out, it doesn't make sense to me to try to charge and compete on the same level as someone who's been around for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, right? Someone who has, you know, a $1,000 microphone and you have $100 microphone. All right. And I do know that there's some people say, well, maybe you shouldn't be doing it if you have $100 microphone. And I just don't agree. I believe that there is a place to start and there's a place to grow your business, and that, you can get coaching and you can get with a community, whether it's a VO's Journey Elite Academy or any other community. There's a lot of wonderful coaches out there. You know what I mean? It's not just me. There's amazing people, okay, that in this industry that can help you. But I am a big advocate, as always, is that this is your business. Don't let anyone tell you how to run your business, but utilize professionals, all right, that have been around, and take that information, synthesize that information to create your model. But I know with what I'm doing, my focus has been more and more on, not just the education and the business, which is so vital to me, but also better quality audio, better quality acting, really growing your brand, but your performance. It's so important, because as I, again, market more other voice actors, I see how important that is. We're competing, right? We need to be the best that we can be. And, there is a lot of room for growth there. I hope that this has been helpful. It's been kind of crazy. I've said a lot, and I'm very excited about moving forward and talking more about this with you, and how pricing works. But again, I believe that as you are starting, right, we start at a certain level because we're just beginning. So we're not going to charge as much. But as we grow, the idea is we're going to charge more, right? Because our brand, our performances, our business commands more, right? So I think that's very valuable to point out. So I hope this has been a helpful. Please leave your comments below and your thoughts about this and the progression of pricing and how that's changing. It's changed for me, and how we start somewhere, but it's not where we're ending up. Right? Our goal is to get up to those rates. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Check out a VO's Journey Elite Academy below, and also leave some comments. I'm really interested in your thoughts about where you started, where you ended up, or where you are now, or how your progression of pricing is going up. And don't forget inflation. The reality is that, part of, that's another thing, right? Part of charging more is we have to deal with the fact that things cost more too. You know what I mean? So we can't just be the industry who doesn't charge more. Anyways, that's just my thoughts. So I'd love to hear yours. You guys have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.